Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renae Kranz. On today's show, we get a full dose of Dr. Chris Bergwald.
Stay with us, please.
Yes. I'm sure people are like, or they're like, yes!
Either hot or cold,
Right,
which
there's nowhere
is
in between.
good. No lukewarmness
Yes.
here.
Yeah. So we'll have some biblical bites with Dr. B first, and then we are going to talk about, what did we talk about? Oh, yes, the Jewish root of the
Eucharist.
the Eucharist.
Today on Catholic Views, we will talk about...
It's the Jewish roots of the Eucharist. So because we are coming on Holy Week, and we have Palm Sunday and Holy Thursday, and so we thought, let's talk about some of these super interesting things that a lot of us Catholics don't know, or haven't, for some reason, made the connection yet.
Right.
It's more of that.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yeah. So proceed, please.
Proceed.
That was so nice, wasn't
I
it?
feel like I'm in an
Proceed.
imperial court. Proceed. Amuse me. So a lot of the things Palm Sunday, a lot of the things in the Passion account, I'm like, I should have, nope, talked about that already in the interview.
Really have to
By
look
the
back.
way, folks, you will see my hair dramatically grow.
Oh, yes,
in the
if you
next
watch the
few
2 videos.
minutes.
Well, yes. Yeah, if you watch the 2 videos, but they're separate.
That's
So
right.
go to
They're
the...
separate. That's
Yes.
right. People are watching.
Yep.
That's what's going on. Okay. But a lot of what I want to talk about, we should talk about that, but no, we'd already actually discussed it in the interview that folks are going to hear.
Sure.
Instead, there's just a few little details about because the Passion, let's be honest, it's so long.
Yes.
They let us, some of our parishes, they let us sit down now for it, which I kind of get a kick out of.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I can understand for the elderly
Right.
folks, but come on, guys.
Yeah. So a couple little details, because it's so long and there's so much there, and unless you really either pray with, study, meditate, reflect on this long account of Jesus' passion, death, and resurrection from the Passover, the night before, from Holy Thursday, through his death, there are little things that you might miss. So, for instance, Renae, I didn't ask you.
Remember, Elise has her mic on, too. Just keep in mind. All right, I'll go first, so.
Renae or Elise.
Okay.
Maybe we could do competition.
Ooh.
Get this one first.
Well, we've already discovered that I'm bad at
Spelling.
game shows and
Spelling.
You remember there's the revolutionary, the insurrectionist,
yes.
who Pilate says to people, "Who do you want me to release? Jesus the Nazarene or
Barabbas.
well, you just said it.
Yeah, well, I started
that's
to,
what-
and I
that's
didn't
what
want to.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say it with me. Join me.
So, all right. So Barabbas. Do either of you know what his name means?
Oh, I just saw this. I think it was in that book. Oh, gosh. It's actually like a good thing, and I can't
is.
remember what it is. Do you-
Bar is the Hebrew Aramaic form of son of.
the light or
Abbas.
something, isn't it?
Abba.
Oh,
What does
son of
Abba
the
mean?
Father.
Son of the Father. The guy's name who is being offered
Exchanged.
either way, he is named Son of the Father.
Wow.
And here you have the Son of the Father. And the interesting thing that some scholars point out, Barabbas is an insurrectionist. He's one of the zealots. He's the ones he probably killed a Roman
Sure.
because they're trying to kick the Romans out. They're trying to free the people from domination by foreign powers. So is Jesus.
Right.
Jesus is also working to free his people from foreign oppression, but not the Romans,
Right.
the devil,
Right.
and sin and death that come with the devil. So here you have these two options before you. Barabbas, the son of the Father, whose way is violence, murder, mayhem, and death. And you have Jesus, who says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Both of them are sons of the Father.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like back in Moses' time. I set before you life and death.
Right.
Choose.
Yeah. And if you've ever seen the movie The Passion of the Christ, you'll see these two characters are are portrayed very differently.
Oh yeah.
Very
Yeah,
different.
Jesus and
Yeah.
Barabbas. And
Yeah. They could not be more opposite.
It's striking to me. So that was the one thing. So, the thing I want to say, this is going to take all of our time. Sometimes when we are in the battle, if you will, as disciples of Jesus Christ, the battle in our culture where things are going crazy, we can be tempted to go that way of quote unquote violence. Maybe not literal physical violence, but like, let's get them and stick it to them. And
Right.
they're going to. But that's not the way that Jesus presents before us.
Right.
He sets before us the way of nonviolence and loving your enemies and praying for those who persecute you.
That's some really good stuff. Thanks for sharing that with us, Dr. B.
You bet.